So welcome guys on my tutorial. So I have created a simple tutorial today for you to measure your time without any electronic devices. If you are a track sprinter or a track distance runner or anything, most of the times you need your time in the track in 100 meters, 200 meter, or while you're doing your repetitions, 30 meters, 60 meter, or anything like that. You need your times, and we know that for most of us it's not possible to get the gates which we use to measure the electronic times, the FAT times, or anything else like that that measures your electronic time. So I usually use Kinovea to measure the time. So there are specific angles and everything that you need to put your camera in that we are gonna see today in this tutorial. And after this tutorial you're gonna learn how to measure your FAT time. I mean the closest we can get to the FAT time without the devices and everything. So I'm gonna use Kinovea software here. Kinovea is a motion analysis software which you can find on Google. I have the link in description. It's a free software. There are two versions of Kinovea. One is the original, the regular version, and one is a beta version. I recommend downloading the beta version, but it depends on your computer or also depends on your necessities. If you need the beta version, the regular version is simple. After downloading the regular version you can also do few things in that, but the beta version has all the tools you need and keeps getting upgraded. So this is Kinovea. You can see the name in the left side. So to be able to open a file, before you go and do changes to the file, draw some things or measure the time or do some changes in the history of the file, go and watch the file. So the most important thing is recording the file. So when you record a video you need to know the pixels of the video. So we all know there is 720 pixels, 1080 pixels and all that. The next most important thing is the FPS. So the FPS is frame per seconds. So there are different FPS used in the mobile phones. Usually I know the lowest a mobile phone can maybe 30 FPS. iPhones can get to 60 FPS and 120 FPS. Cameras gets various type of FPS because FPS is important. We are gonna know why FPS is important. I'm gonna tell you here in a second. So let's go and watch the video here. So since we are gonna measure the time of a race, I have taken the most famous race, one of the most famous race in the history of track, which is the race of Usain Bolt. I hope I don't get copyrighted here. So this is
Four, Gay, the defending champion in 5. Powell, the fast man who usually fails to deliver in 6. Patton in 7. Thompson in.
So this is the race. We all know that Usain Bolt ran 9.58 in this race. So I have chosen this race. So just to tell you how accurate it can get, how accurate we can get the time in Kinovea. So we all know the race. We have seen the race. I'm not gonna play the race here, but we all know the race. How much time Usain Bolt ran in that. So just make sure that you watch the video, make sure that everything is clear. And one another thing is in Kinovea we doesn't hear any audios or anything like that, so it's better to see when they start in terms of time. So this says this is the set, and close to 17 and 18 seconds they start. So this is for when you don't see the start. So we can see that here we don't see the start. The starter is somewhere over here with the gun and everything. So this is important. If you don't see the visual start here in your practice situations, you can have a guy behind you clapping, so you can see you visually see the start. So now we know that the start is between 17 and 18 seconds. So we go to Kinovea. To open a file in Kinovea, you can go to files, or you can just click here and it's gonna open a folder that you have in the history, or you can just search which folder your video is in. So my folder is in here, so I'm gonna open the video. So the most important thing, like I told you, the video is gonna upload now. The most important thing, like I told you right now, is know what's the FPS of your video, know what's the pixel rate of your video. Try to get the best video as possible, because the frames are important in this. So this is the video here, right here. So the frames I see here is 25 fps here. So you will see in seconds, but the video is 50 fps. To be able to change this, you can simply go to video, configure video timing, and you can see here it's capture frame rate. You can change this frame rate to 50 and this to 52. Apply it, it's gonna change to 50 because I personally know that the video is at 50 fps. You can see that here it's 50 fps, so that I changed this to 50 fps. So it's really important to know what's the fps of the video. Sometimes Kinovea captures it itself, it shows it what's the fps of the video, but if you know if you know the fps, you should be able to go and check the fps here. So that's one thing, that's one tool you need to go. So you just need to go video and configure video timings and change both these things. Okay, so I'm gonna start the video. So about the layout of Kinovea, I'm not gonna go in all of these things because you don't need those. Only thing is you have this is a timeline you have here. After that, this is the speeding option. It slows down, it speeds up, everything. Here you have a button which you can play and stop. This thing, if you hover over a tool, you'll say below it, you'll say what's the use of the tool. So it says go to next frame, so it just goes to next frame. This gets you to the end of the video, this gets you to the front of the video. So just like this button gets the frame backwards, frame by frame, this gets frame upward. I'm just gonna change this. Okay, don't worry about that. So I have played a video. We all know that the start is around 17 seconds. I'm gonna slow it down and change it frame by frame. Now you really need to eyeball here what would be the start here. So usually the reaction time is 0.15 milliseconds or something. So you just need to eyeball it where they react. So I see the react around 17.84 seconds. So I'm gonna go to 17.7 and 17.72 and put my this point as a origin. So you just right click on the video and you don't worry about this, just worry about this. This says the mark current time as time origin. Mark this time, so this is your origin. You see it 00, so the time starts. This is the stopwatch. Get a stopwatch right here. So just so you know, this is the time and this is the frames per second. You'll see here. You can delete that if you don't need this. So you just go to options, time, and you can unclick this and it will come. I need to shut down and start again to be able to close this, so just bear with me. So you need to right click on the stopwatch and start the stopwatch. Now when you play it again, the stopwatch will start. So speed it up real bit. and right around. So you can see that you can also get the times of the 10 meter, like this is the 50 meter mark. You can get the time of the 50 meters. So he ran that in 4.64 something. This angle is not good for tracking your distances for like 50 meters, 30 meters or so, but you need to be perpendicular to the ground to be able to get the splits perfectly. But this is also a good angle. I mean, you can see the 50-meter mark. He's landed on a 50-meter mark at 4.64, and this is the official time of his 50 meters. Uh, so going forward, yeah, coming to the end and reaching to the end. Now, since this is the end, your camera, if you're getting the 100-meter time or 200 or 400 or anything, your camera needs to be on the line, just like you will get the photo finish of that. So go slowly ahead, and there you go. So he just crossed the line right there. See, so the time you can see here, it's 9.52, and we all know the official time is 9.58. So depending on the frame rate and everything, it's gonna be 0.05 plus minus 0.05. So it's pretty accurate, and it's pretty accurate than the a clock, a stopwatch, which you use manually. So this is pretty accurate. You can get all the other times, and this is also not for the whole race, but you can use it for, as I told you, for the splits and everything. This is super useful for the hurdles. So so I'm gonna go and open a hurdle video here. So this is another hurdle video we have here. So this is the same thing. If I put the stopwatch here, I'm just gonna show you real quick. If you put the stopwatch here and maybe start this time somewhere, let's just eyeball it. Okay, let's just eyeball it. I'm not gonna go and show it to you again. So let's just eyeball it that this is a chart, and maybe you slow it down and go, and you will see, okay, this is the takeoff. So this I just eyeballed the start. This is not accurate, but we can see right here, this is the takeoff. Okay, if you need a zoom in option, here is a magnifier. You can put the magnifier right there, zoom in, you'll see this is the takeoff. So this is the takeoff time, and this is the landing time. So your FPS needs to be and video quality needs to be super good for you to be able to see it clearly. So you see his leg is here right now, and when I do this, his leg is here. So there could be 0.03 or 5 seconds gap in between those things, depending on the FPS. Since the FPS is 23 frames per second, so that means we just lost a footage of 0.04 seconds right there. So it just depends on your video quality. So I have told you how to measure the time of your races, how to measure your times up here. So for this race, I know the time is 14.0 for this race. So if we go close, you all know I just eyeballed the thing. So this is the time. You just go stop the stopwatch, and you can do it for all the athletes on the ground there, but this is simple. So if you have any questions, just ask me those questions in the comments, but this is real simple for you to use during your practice sessions. As you can see, it just takes 5 minutes to do this. This is not super hard. if you can visualize the start, this is super easy. You just need to mark the start as time origin, put the stopwatch, start the stopwatch, go to the end, put the camera on the line, and boom, when the chest crosses, you stop the stopwatch. So one other thing I forgot to mention is saving the video. So there's two types you can save the video here. So you just need to go to file, and there is a save option. You can also put Control S, but when you save it, you have two options here. So it says save only annotations or save video with annotations permanently applied on the video. So this is the video here. So you get the video with all this timings and everything, and this is on annotations that you can work on the video again, and this is the video. So if you want the video, you can save it like this. If you want the annotations, you can save it like this. And if you do this, there is another box right down here which says take slow motion into account. So it depends on the slow motion you did here. If you don't want the slow motion, you just want the whole race with just the time, so don't click this box. If you want the slow motion video, click this box. It's gonna save it like that, and it's gonna go into the folder. It's gonna ask you which folder you want to save it to. So this is the folder. You can name it anything you want and just save it right there. If you want any questions about that, measuring your timing, you can ask me any questions, and please try to like and subscribe.